Okay, so let's begin. So I'm going to talk through some of these myths or misconceptions. So the first one, yoga websites cost thousands to build. Okay, they only cost a fortune if you pay someone a fortune to do it for you. Okay, if you hire a freelancer to design and develop a basic, small website, it's going to set you back, a couple of grand. Okay, and most likely that freelancer will use WordPress or Squarespace to build your website for you, most likely. Okay, this then rises rapidly depending on the complexity and the scale of your website. So large websites can cost well over $10,000 if you want to include top quality original design and industry leading technology. Okay, so if your yoga business, if you've got if a lot of it relies on technology, then it's going to cost you a lot of money if you were to get somebody to build that for you. You then have ongoing costs for updates and maintenance if you're relying on somebody else to make those updates and maintain your site for you. So for example, if your teaching schedule changes or you have a new workshop that you want to promote, you're actually relying on someone else to make those changes for you. And of course, this adds to the cost every time. So what is the alternative? Okay, well, you don't have to resign yourself to the fact that you're going to have to wait until you've saved all your pennies for a professional website. You can actually build it yourself. Okay, it only needs to cost around £10 to £15 or $15 a month for hosting and a WordPress theme. And you really only need a few building blocks to get you started. Myth number 2, why WordPress? All website platforms are the same, aren't they? Well, in fact, they're not. Okay, so one of the many reasons that I love WordPress is that it has loads of brilliant templates or themes to give your website a clean and designed look. Okay, so if you're not sure what I mean by a theme, let's just break that down. So basically, you'd have hosting, which is your hosting provider, which is the land where you build your website. And then you have WordPress, which is the building that you build on the land. Okay, so that's the framework that your website is built on top of. And the theme gives the look and feel of your framework. So it's actually the theme that you use to design your website on WordPress, on that WordPress framework. Okay, and website themes help to keep the look and feel of your yoga brand consistent across your website without hiring a designer. Okay, so you can do this yourself. You can change the template, you can change the images, the words, really easily and quickly at the click of a button, so you don't have to go and hire someone to do it for you. Okay, and if you're completely new to WordPress, if all of this building your own website, all of this kind of technology is completely new to you, what I recommend is using a theme called Make. Okay, it's by the Theme Foundry, and it's super easy for first-time learners and to get a basic website up and running as quickly as possible. Okay, because if you are completely new to this, you've got a learning curve, as with anything. Anything that you learn for the first time, there's a learning curve. So WordPress on its own can be complicated and overwhelming enough without having a super complicated theme. Okay, so there are thousands and thousands of themes out there. Some are free, some are premium, and some of them are, have basic features, and some of them have lots and lots and lots of features that if you're using one of those themes for the first time, they can be a bit overwhelming. So that's why I always recommend Make. It's a free theme and it has just enough good features to get a good website up and running as quickly as possible. Okay, and as your yoga brand gets bigger and better, because that's the plan, you can scale up your website from a low cost or free theme to something a bit more advanced, because WordPress is so flexible, it allows you to do that. Okay, so once you've got your content together and you've got to grips with WordPress, you can then always move up to a premium paid theme to give your website more of a professional look and feel. Okay, and with WordPress, the options are endless. Okay, so let's move on to myth number 3. Okay, but don't I have to learn to code before creating a website myself? Not at all, okay? Trust me when I say that it's totally possible to build your yoga website using WordPress in a weekend. It's totally possible to do that. So using WordPress to get started means that everything is there for you already. All you need to do is decide on which theme you like the best and start building using that theme, okay? Now, my own coding knowledge is very, very limited, and I've built 5 websites over the last couple of years using WordPress without having any coding knowledge or skills whatsoever. Okay, where I have used code is where I've come across something when I've been building a site, and perhaps I wanted to do something I wasn't quite sure, or maybe I wanted to do something that was outside the functionality of the theme. So what I've done is I've contacted the developer of the theme, and most themes, if you pick a good one, will have like a customer service team that you can contact with your questions. And I've told them what I wanted to do, and what they've done is they've given me a piece of custom code, given me that piece of code, told me where to put it in the back end, and that's allowed me to make that change. So I really encourage you to break through this one, as it does come up a lot, and it really shouldn't be something that holds you back, because you don't need to know how to code to build a website using WordPress. Myth number 4. Okay, so I've built my yoga website now, so why aren't I getting millions of hits every day? Well done on building a yoga website, first of all. Now you need to lead your students to it, okay? And there are many ways to drive traffic to your website. Okay, you want to make sure, first of all, that all of your social media accounts have your website address on them. So for instance, with Instagram, in the bio of your Instagram account, and also that you're sharing links to your website on a regular basis. Okay, you should think about the hooks and the reasons why you could share your website each time you share. Okay, so it could be that if you're writing and creating blog posts, this is a great reason to share those posts and to share the pages of your website on your social media. Okay, so you can share the links to your blog posts on your Facebook page. You can also share those links in other Facebook groups. So on Facebook, there are tons of groups that are dedicated to yoga. You could join those groups, and you could share your articles with yoga students all over the world, which would be fantastic. And that's a great way to send people to visit your website and to read your blog. And you should also consider guest blogging. So if you really enjoy blogging, you really enjoy writing, and you feel like you've got a knack for it, then consider guest blogging, where you have your content published on someone else's website, okay, with a link that links back to your website. And ideally, the blog that you guest blog for will have a bigger audience reach than your own audience. And also that it closely matches your ideal student, because you want to be reaching people that are going to connect to you and your teachings and what you're about as a yoga teacher. Okay, there's no point in blogging on somebody else's website and the people that are reading your blog, aren't really interested in what you have to say. And then another thing to consider, which should be quite easy for you, is to mention your website at the end of your yoga classes with your students. Okay, so tell people if you've got something new that they could check out. Maybe it's a new event or a retreat. Perhaps, driving them to your website to look at your schedule if you've got new classes, and just letting them know where else you're going to be teaching that week and where they can join you on the mat and book online. Okay, and then also any flyers or business cards that you create will also need to carry your website details as well. Okay, so there's lots of good ideas there to help you to drive people to your website as a start off. Good starting point for you there. Okay, myth number 5. But I have my social media accounts to manage. Isn't that enough? So with this one, I'm afraid not. It's not enough. Your social media accounts are just one of many ways to connect with your fellow yogis and your students. Okay, so as a social media user, we do not have control over the social media platform that we use. Okay, and this means that, you know, we don't actually own our followers. We don't actually own those pages in the same way that we own our yoga website. And Facebook and Instagram could change the way that we use them as a business, okay? They can change their algorithms so that it becomes harder and harder to reach our audiences that we have on our pages, and this is something that Facebook has already done. Okay, a very small percentage of your followers will see your content. So some people say it's around 2 to 6%. So imagine, you know, that small percentage of your followers will be seeing your content organically. Okay, so that goes with this video that I'm posting today. Okay, I would have much preferred this video to have gone out to you live, because with Facebook Live, you're going to get a notification to tell you that I'm live. So that, as a Facebook page owner, it's something to consider. Okay. But having said that, you know, having your website, you control your website, you can collect email addresses for your website. There's so many things that you can do on your website that you're not going to be able to do on your Facebook and your Instagram page. And I do believe that it's going to become harder and harder on social media. You know, Instagram are already following suit, or already following Facebook. And of course they are. I mean, they're owned by Facebook. So it was only time. We've also already seen the introduction of business profiles on Instagram. So that's a clear indication that changes for businesses using Instagram are on the way. Okay, and at least with your yoga website, you know that everything you put up there can be seen by everyone who clicks onto it. Okay, myth number 6. I'll ask my friend who is good with websites to help. Okay, so you can ask your friend, of course, but it isn't going to benefit you long term. And honestly, nowadays, the tools and templates that software such as WordPress provide mean that you don't have to be techie or good with computers to build a yoga website. And I honestly believe that with a little effort, anyone can create a beautiful yoga website. And I've helped lots of lovely yoga teachers to create their own websites for their businesses, and I can help you through it too. So the other thing is that if somebody else builds your yoga website for you, then you won't be able to update it without their help, as you didn't spend the time learning the ins and outs of your website. One of my biggest values is about investing in yourself and continuing with your learning. So this is a great investment for you, because imagine being away on a yoga retreat and, you know, wanting to share some images or a video from your retreat on your website and not being able to do that yourself because you're having to wait for someone else. Okay. You know, this could lead to loss of business. You know, if your students can't see when your next classes and retreats and workshops are. And once you've learned the basics, you know, you'll see that it's super easy to update your website from anywhere in the world. And how empowering and fantastic is that? Okay, so hopefully that's helped you today, just to kind of get into a better mindset if some of these things that I've discussed has been holding you back from making that first step, from taking the first step or making that first move to, you know, set up a website for your yoga business. Okay, so let's move on. I'm going to talk about some of the things that really are essential for your website. Okay, so once you've decided that you're going to do this, because you really should, there's so many reasons why you should have a website, and if you haven't checked out my last video, do have a look at that, because I talk through all of the reasons, all of the great reasons why you should have a website for your yoga business. Okay, because websites are important. Okay, and in particular, if you want to grow your yoga business online, okay, whether you want to get new students or you want to start growing your personal brand and start earning an income online, you should ensure that you have a really great website, okay? You want your visitors to have a positive experience on your website, and just to really understand straight away what you are all about and what you can offer them, okay? It doesn't have to be, you know, an all singing, all dancing website with all sorts of funky features and flashy animation and so on, okay? It doesn't need to be all that, and it doesn't need to, you don't need to spend a fortune, as I've already discussed, okay? But there are some key features that I believe that all yoga websites should have, okay? In fact, there are 9 of them. So I'm going to whiz through them now for you, okay? So grab a pen and paper if you don't have one already. Okay, first up, easy on the eye, okay? You need to consider colors, images, layouts. You don't want to give people a headache when they try to read your website, when they come onto your website for the first time, okay? So don't go crazy with lots of colors. A good option is to stick to 2 or 3 main colors that align with your brand, and that you blend throughout your site with lots of white space so that visitors can rest their eyes, okay? So you don't want to overwhelm visitors with too many colors or too many images. But it is a good idea to include images and graphics, because they do brighten up the pages on your website and they really bring your website to life, okay? When you're using photos, try to make sure that they're a high quality photo, and also preferably your own. Okay, people want to see your beautiful face and see who you are. Okay, also make sure that, you know, your website is easy to navigate, but the important point here is simplicity. Okay, so less clutter and color and more visual appeal. Okay, next up, attention grabbing headline. So you want your visitors to immediately know what you are all about. Okay, so why is this? Because you have around 10 seconds to convince people to stay on your website before they're gone. Around 10 seconds. Okay, people don't usually read websites, they scan until something catches their attention. Okay, so think about this. If you came onto my website and it said, "Welcome to Kelly's yoga website," this gives little away to you, okay? It is really a complete waste of attention grabbing space on your site. What you want to do is to have a headline that immediately connects with your ideal students, so that they know that they're in the right place and what you offer them is for them, okay? So what you do, the main benefit that you can offer them, when and where, okay? So that's what you want to focus on with a main headline or a main piece of copy that sits on your homepage. Number 3, prominent offer. Okay, so if you have a core offer for your potential students, so this might be, for example, a free online class or a meditation or something that something tangible that you can send to them in exchange for their email address. Okay, you want to make this a key feature of your website. So as soon as they come on your homepage, you want this to be one of the first things that they see. You want it to be prominent on your homepage and also on all the other pages on your website as well. You don't need to just add it once, add it everywhere. Add as many opt-in forms to your website as you can so that you can build your email list. Okay, next up, information about you. Okay, so of course there needs to be information about you, who you are, your skills, your experience, qualifications, and so on. It's important to remember who you're writing for as well. Okay, so make sure you talk in the language of your ideal students. So less jargon and more language that people will understand. Okay, try to use bullet points and keep it short and snappy. You want to come across as professional and personable and keep it student focused. So focus on their pain points, their struggles, and how you can help them to overcome these struggles, how you can help them to, really get the most out of what they're trying to do. Okay, that you're the best person to do that. Okay, number 5, testimonials. Okay, so with testimonials, you're saying, don't just take my word for it, listen to what other people have to say too. Okay, testimonials are super important. You can include testimonials as text, or even better, a video testimonial. But either way, it's always better if visitors to your website can see an image of the person who has provided the testimonial for you, so it makes it seem more real. Number 6, contact information. So you could have the best website in the world, but if you provide no contact information, then it's not much good. Okay, make it really easy, really simple for people to find you and for people to contact you. Okay, you want to make it clickable if possible. So, if they click on your email address to instantly email you, or click on a phone number and it starts a phone call, that would be great. Or add a simple contact form to your site. Okay, so it's really important. Don't miss that out. Number 7, social media. Okay, this is linked with the last point, but I feel like it requires its own place in this list. Okay, so you want to ensure that you make yourself contactable via social media by adding links to your social media profiles. And if you're active on a certain social media platform, you can add live feeds to your homepage as well. So that works particularly well for Instagram and Twitter. And it's very easy to do that using plugins, which are little apps that just plug into your WordPress site. You should also add share and like buttons to your blog posts and also your pages. And, integrating with social media is a really great way to get your website found by search engines, and also to help to build your social media following as well. Number 8, mobile friendly. Okay, so it is official. According to Google, more people now browse websites on their mobile phones more than they do on a desktop computer. Okay, so not only is it a must-have to have a website these days, but it also is becoming a must-have for your website to be mobile friendly too. Always think mobile first. So whenever you're designing your site, think about how it's going to look on a mobile first before any other device. Okay, and this is actually referred to as being responsive. Okay, so you want to make sure that the theme that you use is a responsive theme for WordPress. So people will just give up and move on if your site doesn't work or looks awful on their mobile, and we don't want that. Okay, and last up, have a blog. Okay, most of the yoga websites, most of the best yoga websites, in my opinion, they're not static websites. Okay, so static websites means that they rarely have new content on them. Okay, instead, they include a blog. Okay, and therefore their websites are updated regularly with new posts. Okay, adding a blog is a chance to engage with your audience, and it showcases what you know. Okay, I've written a couple of blog posts about this recently, so do head over to the website and check out those blog posts about blogging and why you should be blogging as a yoga teacher, and all the benefits and reasons, or all the benefits that it can bring to your business. It does increase the chance of your website being found by search engines. Okay, so for SEO purposes, it's a great way to get more people to come to your website. Okay, so if you are going to add a blog, you want to make sure that it's up to date. So, I'm not saying to post every day or even every week, but as a rule of thumb, I'd say, at the very least, once a month to be posting a blog at the very least. More if you can. Okay, so there you have it. These are my top 9 essential features for all yoga websites. And if done well, your website can be a real asset for your yoga business. And a great website really does improve your digital footprint. It enhances your yoga brand, and ultimately it helps you to grow your yoga business. And that's why we're here. Okay, that's what we want. We want to find ourselves more freedom, more income and more success, and your yoga website is a tool that will allow you to do that. So everyone, I'm so happy to share this information with you just now, even though it's not come to you live as planned. I will sort out the technical issues, whatever they may be. I'm going to do a little bit of exploration and get that sorted for next time. If you have any questions on the topics today and the information I've shared with you, just add them to the comments below. And you know, if you have any questions about anything around your yoga business, head over to the Digital Yoga Academy private Facebook group. There's over 3,000 yoga teachers in this group now, and we're all there waiting to offer support and to share our experiences and to help one another, and that's what it's all about. Okay, so thank you for listening. If you've stuck with me to the end, you're a trooper, and I'll be back soon with more tips and resources and information to help you, and I look forward to connecting soon. Take care.